Summary of Everything by Nicola Yoon. Maddie is 17 years old, and she lives in a white room. She likes to read, but all of her books are cleaned before she gets them. Even though no one will ever find a lost book of hers, she puts her name and a list of fantastic rewards in every one of them. Maddie has SCID, an autoimmune disease that makes it dangerous for her to leave the house because she could die. Maddie lives with her mother, Dr. Whittier, and the only other person she sees regularly is her nurse, Carla. Mom and Maddie make Maddie's usual white cake with vanilla frosting for her 18th birthday and play games with her. This birthday is especially hard because Maddie is now an adult by law, but because of SCID, nothing will change in her life. A few days later, Maddie hears something outside rumbling and beeping. Carla is worried, but Maddie runs to the window as fast as she can. She sees that a family with 2 kids her age is moving into the house next door. The boy is very beautiful and wears all black. Over the next week, Maddie gets to know how her family works. Ollie, the boy, is hard to guess, and Kara, his sister, smokes and plays on her phone. Ollie's dad goes to work, and Ollie's mom takes care of the yard. When the father gets home at night, he yells for a long time. Ollie and Kara come to the door with a bundt cake from their mom during one of Mom and Maddie's Friday night dinners. When Ollie's dad finds out that his mom doesn't want the cake, he throws the cake at Ollie. Even though Ollie's window is right next to Maddie's, he won't look at her that night. Maddie finds it hard to be happy with just her books because she likes Ollie. This is especially true when, a few nights later, Ollie sets up a week-long play on his shelf in which the bundt cake, which Ollie says can't be broken, tries to kill itself and ends up in the hospital. Then, he gave Maddie his email address and they started talking online. Maddie says she is sick and can't leave the house. Ollie is both cynical and sweet, and he says that his dad hits his mom often. Maddie gets ready for a rare review with her architecture teacher, Mr. Waterman, in person. When he gets there, he looks at her model buildings with great interest and finds the astronaut she always hides in each one. This time, the astronaut is in an ice cream shop full of food, but Mr. Waterman points out that the astronaut can't eat any of it because he's wearing a helmet. Later, Carla finds out that Maddie has been talking to Ollie. After 2 days, she agrees to let Ollie visit the sunroom as long as Maddie doesn't touch him. Ollie tells Maddie what it's like to swim in the ocean while they are there. Maddie thinks she's sick when she wakes up the next morning, but Carla says she's just homesick. Maddie asks Ollie not to email her over the weekend because she's afraid of how much she wants more. But on Monday, when she checks her email and finds none, she's upset. Carla tells Maddie that love won't kill her, so Maddie starts talking to Ollie again, with the agreement that they'll just be friends. A week later, Carla lets Ollie come back to visit again. Maddie thinks about what to wear and decides that it's time to add some color to her room, which is full of white t-shirts, keds, and blue jeans. She tells herself it's fine to tell Mom a lie about this. Ollie says that, in theory, you could find and change one time that would make everything better and fix everything. Maddie starts to skip movie nights with her mom so she can talk to Ollie because she knows she's falling in love with him. She knows that she and her mother are getting apart because Maddie is keeping something from her. Maddie sees violence at Ollie's house one night, and when he comes to visit the next day, she wants to touch him and calm him. Ollie says that his dad only became angry after he lost his job about 10 years ago. Ollie was too afraid to comfort his father, and when his father hit his mother for the first time a few months later, Ollie thought if he could have helped if he had. A few days later, Carla tells Mom that she won't let Ollie come see Maddie if she keeps noticing changes in her. She says that Ollie will soon go back to school and get a girlfriend, while Mom is sad and lonely. Even though Carla told her not to, all Maddie wants to do is keep secrets, so she asks for a credit card. The next time Ollie comes to visit, he shows Maddie how to do a handstand. When she starts to fall over, he grabs her ankles, and when she's steady again, they hold hands. Later, Ollie tells them they could kiss on Instant Messenger. When Ollie comes back, they do exactly that. Maddie feels everything around her change at once. A few days later, Maddie and her mom are playing a game when they hear screams coming from outside. Maddie and Mom can see Ollie's dad swinging at Ollie and Ollie's mom from the window. When Ollie's dad gets to punch Ollie in the stomach, Maddie runs outside and yells at him to stop without even thinking. Mom is upset when she finds out that Maddie has been seeing Ollie, so she fires Carla and takes away Maddie's internet access. Ollie and Maddie talk to each other by making faces and writing on Ollie's window. Mom hires a new nurse, Nurse Janet, who is very annoying to Maddie. Ollie sends Maddie texts when he can while at school, but Maddie stays sad and upset. Mom brings Maddie a framed picture of herself, Maddie, Maddie's dad, and Maddie's brother on vacation in Hawaii 1 month before Maddie's dad and brother died in an accident and 2 months before Maddie was diagnosed with SCID. Maddie starts to understand that the experiences she has in books can't compare to the real thing. Her life no longer makes sense, and she finds herself willing to die if it means she can live. She sneaks out in the middle of the night after writing a letter to Mom saying goodbye. She tells Ollie that she bought pills from Canada that will stop her symptoms and asks him to come with her to Hawaii. Even though he doesn't really think she has pills, he agrees to go with her. They stop to see Carla before they go to the airport. Carla seems to know that Maddie is lying about the pills, but she tells Maddie how she left Mexico. It gave her freedom, but she regrets going for many different reasons. She tells Maddie that regret is a normal part of life. Maddie and Ollie land in Hawaii. Ollie says at the luggage carousel that baggage carousels are a great way to describe life and that people are like suitcases. He says that his dad is the carousel, which makes Maddie angry, so he talks a host into giving Maddie a lay. They take a cab to their hotel, and the driver agrees to stop so Maddie can wade into the ocean. At the hotel, the honeymoon greeter shows them to their room and tells them how nice it is that they are in Hawaii. As Ollie turns the pages of The Little Prince, which Maddie brought because it's her favorite book, they awkwardly talk about how there's only one bed. Maddie gets dizzy and chest pain all at once. She knows that she is hungry. Maddie and Ollie go shopping after they eat. They buy gifts and beach gear. Maddie decides to send her mom a picture because it's the first time she's ever made memories without her. Maddie and Ollie snorkel and jump off rocks together, which scares Maddie more than you might think. They meet up with Ollie's friend Zach in the afternoon. He is gay and wants to be a rock star, but to keep the peace, he hasn't told his parents either of these things. Maddie's mom sends Ollie texts saying she's on her way, and Ollie tells Maddie to deal with them. Maddie is upset, so she tells her mom not to come. Zach finds out that Maddie lied about the pills when Ollie goes to the bathroom. He says that part of growing up is letting down the people you care about. Back at the hotel, Maddie and Ollie take another look at the single bed, and Ollie says he's scared. They lay down, tell each other they love each other, and decide to have sex. Maddie feels like she knows everything there is to know about the world, and she feels very close to Ollie. After dinner, they sit on the beach until it gets dark. They talk about how violent Ollie's dad is, and Maddie tells Ollie that he needs to leave home for his own safety. In the middle of the night, Maddie wakes up feeling very sick. In the ambulance, her heart stops. Mom shows up, and even though Dr. Francis tells her not to, she insists on taking Maddie home. After a few weeks, Maddie feels better and thinks that love is terrible and she doesn't want anything to do with it. She breaks up with Ollie because she knows she can't go back to trips without touching now that she knows what the world is like. She deletes all of his emails and spends a lot of time with her mother, which makes her sad. Her mother lets Carla go back to work. A month after the trip, Ollie, his mom, and Kara are rushing to move out while Maddie is at school. Ollie's dad also moves around Christmas. Maddie reads all of Ollie's texts that have been deleted. He thinks that his mom might have chosen to leave when Ollie told her about Maddie, and he tells Maddie how brave she is for wanting to live even though it might kill her. Not too long after that, Dr. Francis sends Maddie an email. Dr. Francis writes that she doesn't think Maddie has SCID. She includes test results and suggests that Maddie get a second opinion. Maddie does her own study and gives Mom a copy of the email she has written. Mom acts weirdly and says, "I had to protect Maddie," which is scary. Maddie shows Carla the email the next day. Carla's response is even more disturbing. She thinks that Mom might not have recovered from losing her husband and son, and she has sometimes thought that Mom is sick. That night, Maddie looks through Mom's office for her SCID diagnosis. She only finds online stories with notes about SCID and proof that she was a sick baby. When Mom comes home and says that Maddie took the papers with the doctor's report, Maddie throws up outside and yells at her. For days after that, Maddie meets with Dr. Chase, who is an expert on SCID. He says that Maddie doesn't have SCID, but that her immune system is still weak. Since she grew up in a clean place, her immune system hasn't had much practice fighting off typical bacterial and viral infections. Maddie wants to know what's going on, so she thinks about writing Ollie and puts a lock on her door. She changes the colors of her walls, opens the windows, and buys goldfish. Mom starts to see a therapist, and Carla tells Maddie in a gentle way that she needs to find a new job because Maddie no longer needs her. Even though Maddie is mad at her mom, she takes the phone Mom gave her and buys plane tickets to New York City. She tells Mom as she's leaving that she's not sure if their house is still her home. In a used shop, Maddie plans a surprise for Ollie. There, he finds her copy of The Little Prince and reads that Maddie herself is the prize for finding it. From behind a shelf, Maddie steps out.
About the author. Nicola Yoon was born in Jamaica and grew up there and in Brooklyn, New York. Cornell University gave her a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, but a creative writing class she took on her own time made her interested in writing. She got her master's in creative writing from Emerson College, but she worked for 20 years as a programmer for investment companies. After the birth of her mixed-race daughter in 2015, she wrote her first book, Everything, Everything. David Yoon, her husband, did the pictures for the book. It was on the New York Times list of best-selling books for 40 weeks, and her second book, The Sun is also a star, won even more awards than the first. Yoon and her family have been very active with the group We Need Diverse Books, which works to increase and promote diversity and representation in literature. The Yoon family lives in California's Los Angeles.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.